interesting is the way he challenges the black elite. He talks about the black elite that's on TV and speaks that honest truth that we've always talked about on this platform, that a lot of times the worst ideas get out to the black community because the Negroes on TV care nothing about actually going in and building for the community. And the reason they don't is because if they do that, they'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball. They'll be punished. They'll be taken off the platform and replaced by somebody who plays ball.
And his opponent, accompanied by Ross Mann, from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 215 pounds, GMG Big Money.
Oh, I can't wait to see this one.
These two have been waiting for this one for quite some time, and to be honest, so have I.
Salute, and welcome to PM School. God damn it, y'all. Yeah, I see y'all up tonight. Y'all up tonight. Okay. Welcome to PM class, guys. You now entered the righteous fear. We don't cater to any groups, gangs, communities, religions, feelings, or your emotions. We gonna cater to the truth. We gonna cater to common sense, and we is not gonna play with it. Now, guys, we got a guest. We got a special guest. Really ain't no guest. Y'all know Uncle Jackie, formerly known as Uncle Jackie. For those of you that don't know, he used to be on our bus, on our AM channel, on our AM show in the morning. But we got Uncle Jackie here at PM School. What's going on, Uncle Jackie?
What's going on, brother? Good bread. I'm cooling, man. It's good to be here again, man. Word.
No
Ready for a
doubt.
big show.
No doubt. Always a blessing to have you, my brother. You know how we do over here. We just come here and we create a space for guys to come and vent, get it all off their chest, and then we go back up ground. We go back in reality, and we do what we got to do. So I was talking with you off air, and we was talking about a very important topic. And I said, you know what? We get on here, we spend a lot of times addressing issues and male issues and topics that nobody want to address. Yeah, they playing they having a family game night in my house, and you're gonna hear some screams in the background and all of that. But don't worry, that never mind that. But in any event, we talk about all types of things, but we really don't get to the butter enough. So I said, yo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about workplace harassment, workplace discrimination on the man, because
Right.
this is raising in the workplace. It's rising.
Like
Am I
crazy.
like crazy, right?
Because you got more and more women, the numbers tell you. More women are finishing school, more women are doing this. So, they're in these positions of power, but they don't really know how to, a lot of times they don't know how to be in a position of power. It's all about having the power over you, trying to put a knee in your chest or something like that. I'm strong enough to get that off me.
And that also touches on this DEI joint that everybody crying over. And that's that participation award that give people the opportunity, even if they not qualified, just because they're a certain color, they're a certain brand. So just because you're a certain brand, I'm gonna let you be this, even though you don't qualify for this. So, this is why we got a lot of doctors killing folks in the hospital, because they don't qualify to be a doctor, but just because they black, and you gotta hire them because they black, they hire. This is how we ended up with them twerking senators and stuff like that, of that nature.
Right. That's
So
crazy, man.
it's crazy, right? We got to talk
Twerking.
about it, Uncle Jackie. We going to talk about it tonight. You know what I mean? No doubt. Tom Air, what's going on? Welcome back. Salute. What's going on, man? Nazarene,
What's
what's
good,
going
y'all?
on? How you feeling? Gary, what's going on? Toxic Ring, XL Prizzo, what's going on, guys? Salute.
What's good,
And
fellas? What's good, ladies and gents?
word, yeah, thank you, and welcome to class. So, guys, y'all do know that not always was women in the workplace. And I mean, if we go all the way back before feminism and before Lilith and Lucifer had their way over our society, I mean, women were in the home. I know it gets old, right? It gets old, it gets tiring, but it's truth. It's the fact. It ain't until the women start getting in the workplace that these things start going left. I want y'all to understand, guys, there's a lot of women in a position of power, like Uncle Jackie said. So now they done turned this patriarch and what was designed to be a patriarch into the matriarch for sure. There's a lot of men, like the title read, fighting for their lives in the workplace. And it sounds crazy, but again, just like in these relationships at home with these women, a lot of men don't speak up. A lot of men can't speak up about this particular topic. But that's why I got my guy Uncle Jackie here, because we all know the more cool people start talking and telling their stories, the more people will really start to listen and pay attention. And it's nothing like when I tell you a story or when somebody like Uncle Jackie tell you a story, because you respect us. So you know we ain't bullshit. We ain't, you know what I mean? We ain't cowards. We ain't none of that. We ain't complainers. We telling you a story so you can take what you can take from it, so you don't go down that same path. Uncle Jackie, you could take it away.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Like you said, it's Uncle Jackie, Tony Jack. I worked at this company, as you see the picture behind on the thumbnail. It's called Sodexo Magic. That company is run, but 50% of it is owned by Magic Johnson. That company made 3.2 billion dollars last year. 3.2 billion. Now they sit there, they have all these people in place, females, and you, in order to now listen here, I ran a business in the golf course. I know brother Goodbread can tell you. I ran a business in the golf course. I was doing floors. So now I switch. I still have the ability to know how to do floors. I'll just be, I won't be on my own. I'll be whatever. Now, in order to do that, you have to go along to get along. You got to cut off you got to basically play yourself and be Samuel L. Jackson on Django if you want to get a job, if you want to get a promotion or move up in a job that is so easy that they hire people with not all of their appendages. This dude's working with 6 fingers. Job is so easy. But with a power struggle, it's always, when it comes to women in the workplace, it's always a power struggle. They can't sit there and like, hey, you got your position, congratulations. Now there's no need to try to put your foot in my neck. There is no need.
Can
I
you
have
give
the
us
same opinion you
uh,
have. Say again?
can you give us an example? Can you give us like one specific example of when you say put their knee in your neck? Like one specific example of what that is. How that look?
Uh,
How does that look in the workplace?
well, basically, I'm gonna use myself as an example. Now they were, how you say, they were lacking. They didn't have enough people one night, so they asked 3 of us, "Hey, y'all want to do this? This extra duties." So of course I said no, because that's not my title. I'm not doing nothing. Now what happens? What did the woman do? She made sure she sent me home, and the other 2 people who sat there, She let them stay. They denied it too, but I was more adamant. Like, I'm not doing nothing. I applied for this position. You didn't give it to me. Now you want me to work, how you say, cheap labor. I'm not sitting there doing the work of someone else. That's your problem. You hired these people. They're not reliable. But for me saying they're not reliable, that means I'm trying to, how you say, muscle up on shorty. You get what I mean? On these females, I'm trying to muscle up or something. But
Right.
it's just the fact. You pick these people, you handpick them, and they're not coming through for you. So now you're trying to bully us into doing their job, or you can go home. That's basically what it is. Either you could take what I'm giving you, or you could step. I used to step. I
And
keep it
that
100 with you. I used to step. I'm a step because I'm not doing it. You got the wrong gentleman.
excellent example. Excellent example. And that's just one. That's just one example, guys. Man, let me tell you how I had a little side hustle about a year and a half ago. A little side hustle, you know what I mean? Doing a little security, you know what I mean? Just to
Mm,
keep a little busy.
yeah,
So, you
I
know what I
remember
mean?
that.
They hired me, Uncle Jackie. They hired me because, you know, they know, oh, this dude already got his own company, so he's just giving us his spare time. So I told him I can get him 3 days, and they hired me to ditch patch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So what dispatch and security mean, you sit in the central, you sit at central of the facility, and you direct all the officers to the problem. You watch the cameras, you direct the officers, the field security guards to the problem. You know what I mean? Because that's what they hired me for, knowing they hired me for that. One night, they have a girl. I don't know. I guess she missed her tour, or I don't know what was going on, but they send her to my site. It's raining. Now she don't want to stand outside in the rain. Mind you, she's a field officer. She have no dispatch experience. She don't want to stand out in the rain. So now they calling me, asking me, can I switch with this girl? I said no. They called me back. They begged me to switch with this girl. I said, yo, we get paid the same exact money. Why do I need to switch with this girl? I ended
Right.
up leaving that site, bro. I ended up walking out. That's the last day I did security, bro. Word up.
Oh, wow.
Word up. Word up, bro. That's the last day it's just not, that's not gonna work for me, bro. We're in a society that pushes and promotes equality. You know what I mean? I don't understand.
You ain't going to get equality, and I hate to say it because it sounds bad, but you ain't going to get no real true equality with a lot of females being at the head of the table. Like, all right, when I started making complaints, my supervisor, woman, her supervisor, woman, her supervisor, everybody to the top, bro. I'm telling you, I went to the top. I stopped before Magic Johnson, basically. Everybody's a female. And the one dude that is a kind of a supervisor, he's a half a man. A rainbow dude. So it's like, really? You have
There
to
you
have a
go.
feminine quality to, or go along to get along. I ain't never been a go along to get along.
Yo, I done spoke with several men, and this is why men are fighting for their life in the workplace. Because if you do not exhibit any of them real overly soft traits, you ain't even getting in the door. I have sat there and listened to some women who have hiring and firing power say this. I've heard them talk. I mean, Mrs. Gilbert have told me on several occasions she heard managers talk about how they throw the men applications in the garbage and just they feel they if you're a fat black female, you have a higher chance of getting hired than a healthy, physically ready male, black male. I just want you to know that.
That's a fact.
Statistically proven. If the stats will show you that is a fact. Let's get into this video real quick. Uncle Jackie, you know how we do when we break these things down. Whenever you catch something you want to stop and highlight, just let me know. Give me the signal, and we'll stop and highlight this. Because we got to
Got you,
address
brother.
this right here.
Got you, brother.
How men are really discriminated against in the workplace, guys. Don't let them fool you. And speak up more. Call it out, guys. Understand, this is why it's hella important to get off company policy. This is why I promote that we create something. It's in our basic instructions to be creators, not consumers and workers for the rest of our life. He don't want you to work for the rest of your life. He wants you to create. He carved this in the image of him, and he the ultimate creator, right? 1 + 1 = 2, guys. But we got to
Basic.
get up off of company policy. We get 7 years to work for a person. But then after them 7 years, we should already know. We should know how to do that task, that job way better than them. Because remember, all they do is sit back and pay us. We the ones actually doing it for them 7 years. So we should be able to know how to do that joint with our eyes closed, and we should be able to open up. Open up.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Female dominated occupations. Oh my God, you guys, we did it. Sexism against women is over. The feminists have upended patriarchy and instituted matriarchy. That's right. You
dirty bitch! Look what you've done to my peonies!
They're marigolds!
Good God, I think she's right. They are marigolds.
I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one! You dirty...
Men obstructed from entering female dominated occupations. Oh my God, you guys, we did it. Sexism against women is over. The feminists have upended patriarchy and instituted matriarchy. That's right. You thought we wanted equality, but what we really wanted was more. More. Okay, no.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying. Yo, she ain't lying at all, Uncle Jackie. She trying to make it like she playing. Bruh.
No, she's serious. She's very serious. And for the fact that I'm gonna say this real quick to give people a little list of my little fake ass accomplishments. I went to school, went to college. I have I've been certified for OSHA. I ran a flooring business, and I'm CPR and AED trained. You mean to tell me I need to still be at the bottom level? I have more going on than the supervisors. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. And we know a lot of the supervisors are supervisors because they Joy tailored their way to there.
Exactly.
A lot of the women in power are side chicks to the rich dudes, yo. You know what I mean? Side chicks to the rich dudes, and he keep her quiet by throwing her a little business, keeping her busy. You run this little business here and shut up. This is why she get to work and start taking out these frustrations on you, on her workers.
Mm-hmm.
I could never really work underneath a female, boy. I
don't like it.
I couldn't, yo. I couldn't. I had one.
And it don't sound right, but it's real, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. That shit sounds bad, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Because you sit there, you putting your friend on, your friend lacks like the female that didn't want to stand outside. You took a job to be a postman. I did security too. I was dispatched too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a postman. So you chose to be a postman. That's your what's the name? Don't try to go, yeah, Julie or whatever the female is. Hey, I need the and that's what got me out of the warehouse game. They pay you, but all they do is hire little cuties with little big booties, and they don't do nothing.
They don't do nothing. They'll come in late and get the simp, get the dude at the job that think he getting played, get him to do their whole job. They tickle his chin, and you see them. He end up doing their whole job and his job.
That's a fact, bro.
and it's always the girl that come late. The work thought
Always.
is always the worst one with attendance.
Cause she gotta come to work looking fly. Like, you in a damn pause. You in a meat house, warehouse. Why you have on fake nails and lipstick and makeup, and why are your clothes so tight? And that's how you got the job. That's
hmm
exactly how you got the job.
hmm And you see,
Me,
that go back to what we was just saying about the overweight and obese women. That's why they first dibs. Cause best believe the women in power, they're discriminate on those girls. The little hip hop girls,
right.
they ain't getting hired by them black feminist women with power. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
And it's worse in Georgia, because I believe in Georgia, it's just weird. Like, in New York, when you at a job, there's always a possible threat of violence because New York City is very small.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia is bigger, of course. So these folks think, what's the chances of me bumping into them on the streets, whether it be a man or a female that you could just, verbally disgrace?
Right.
And they just don't think it can happen. Like, I can be as disrespectful as I want because of my position. What are you going to do? Oh, really? Who are you talking to? What am I going to do? I'll make your life hell.
Nasty work.
Disgusting.
Now,
And it's
let's
okay.
dig into a few facts before we start on this. Number one, regardless of this study's results, I have absolutely no doubt that some, if not most, men are regularly discriminated against in some, if not most, female-dominated industries. Number two, there are many ways to discriminate against a person, even just within their career. This study looked at exactly one of those ways. Number three, the study was done in Sweden, which, according to the World Economic Forum, is ranked fourth in the world for gender equality, just above Nicaragua? Really? Oh, okay. That's like a whole other video. I'm fascinated by that. I'm going to look into that later. Let's put a pin in that. But I mentioned the Sweden thing because we live in a US-centric society, especially those of us who live in the United States. And so we tend to assume that every study is about us. For context, though, while Sweden was the fourth best in gender equality, the WEF ranked the United States 53rd, just ahead of Singapore? Really? We beat Singapore? Damn, y'all, I have a lot of internal biases about various countries' gender equality issues that I need to examine. Again, not for this video. Okay, so this study was just published in PLOS One, and it looked at pre-existing data from 3 previous studies, all of which include the same main author as this new study, that together submitted more than 3,200 fake job applications from fake men and women to real employers in 15 different industries, some of which were female-dominated, some of which were male-dominated. They found that male-dominated industries were just as positive about female applicants as they were about male applicants. But female-dominated industries were significantly more positive about female applicants.
And that's a fact right there, too. I know that to be true, too, because now when you get the male guys, when you get the dudes that is in power, a dude in power is more likely to take a BBL bald head roach before he take a dude with those same qualifications, boy.
Or
So,
more.
right, a man is damned if he do, damned if he don't in the workplace in 2025. Because understand, if your competition is a BBL bullhead roach, she getting the job, bro. They want to hire her just to look at her and drool over her and try to think they got a chance with her before they let you, who's gonna come in there and do the job. Do the job, go home, might do a little bit of extra overtime. They gonna pick the girl who gonna find reasons to always gotta take days off, always calling out, always coming late because she got a BBL. So it's that dynamic too, guys. You got that
Right.
going working against you too.
Then
Go
they
ahead,
smart
Uncle
enough
John.
to want to smile in people's faces. Like, come on, I got to do the kids. I got this, that. All right, girl, go ahead and go to work. You punk ass dude, man. Come on, man. Because if that's me and I have the same excuses, that's not gonna fly.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But these are the dude. This is another dynamic because now this is a male in charge of hiring and firing. These males be punks. These males be wicked in these spaces too, especially these single mother raised males that they're sexual deviants. So they will pick a BBL sister over a brother with the skills.
Right.
Then you got the sisters who gonna pick they sisters over a brother. So when does the brother get picked? Like if you got a sister in power and she's picking her little ballhead roach friends and
Right.
family, then that means the black man is left without a job. The man is left without a job. And then if the men are picking these ballhead roaches over the brothers, it's fighting for our life. This is why it's time, guys, that we build our own stuff, bro. It's time we build and create our own things.
Yeah, that's a fact. Create our own jobs. Um, I mean, you could do a lot of things if you get. See, I learned down here. I still haven't told anyone I went to school yet, and I'm about to enter a field that I actually went to school for, and I didn't have to write down I have the education for it because you definitely don't need it all the time. But I mean, and even if you have it, it's like if you go into the wrong company, you're gonna get overlooked anyway.
Right.
Because your name is Michael, John, Tim, whatever your male name is, it's like, nah, I'm gonna get Cindy or this one, or they hire dudes that they can manipulate. If you can
Right.
manipulate the dude, then bam.
Right. If you
Because I
come
think
in
a whole
looking
bunch
real
of that.
sassy, if you come in looking sassy enough, they'll hire you.
They sure will. They
Than
sure
they
will.
were
Because
about male applicants. Interesting. But let's go back to one of my earlier.
What you was gonna say, Uncle Jackie?
no, you good. I was just saying, like, you are right because you see a lot of of the Rainbow Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
They basically get the same rights as the female. So yeah, you ain't lying about that one.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about in your situation? You Magic Johnson is at the top of the umbrella of your company. So we
Yeah,
already know, we already know the agenda when it come to that. We already
and
know what it is, what time it is when it come to that.
I went on Twitter and I actually tagged them like, "Hey, bro, do you pay attention to your companies or do you just throw in spokespersons or throw in people to talk for you? Because this company is the turnover rate at this job is disgusting." There was one
Now,
woman, I guess her lips was made to pucker and kiss booty because this woman in like 3 months got a supervisory position over all the girls, even if you're gonna do the girls, over all the girls that were there before her. But this one was willing to, like, I mean, when I say go along to get along, this woman was willing to do what, like, she took less money for a while just to have the title, just so she could tell people what to do. I ended up cursing her
sheesh,
out. Elizabeth
sheesh,
West. I cursed her
sheesh.
out like I don't know who you talking to, you ugly monkey. But yeah, I just about damn near cursed everybody out. Like, you're not gonna play with me. You're really not.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's the
Points. There
problem. Like,
are many ways to discriminate against a person in their career. You can tell a child, for instance, that they are not suited to do a particular job because of their gender or race or sexuality. You can grade that child more harshly. You can steer them toward different college majors. You can put them in a major that is dominated by people who are all one gender or race or ethnicity or sexuality that they do not share, and therefore they do not feel comfortable there or like they belong there. You can treat them poorly in class. You can reject their job application. You can give them a harder interview. You can not hire them. You can hire them, but then treat.
So that's a lot of ways to discriminate right there. So for those of you that think nah, you tripping, or nah, that's not discrimination, or nah, be a man, because that's what you know. They're quick to tell you that as a man. Be a man, just be a man. Oh, you complaining, bro? You ain't complaining, bro. You ain't tripping. You you getting discriminated against, y'all. So make sure y'all take note, screenshot this. Yeah, Uncle Jackie.
You being a man by saying something. You ain't standing there letting nobody abuse you. And Sodexo Magic do not want men at the job. I asked the lady, like, is this a job for women by women? Because you know you should say that on Indeed before people start applying for these jobs. Of course, all of my accusations got ignored, and they just couldn't wait. They couldn't wait. And it's like, I didn't care. I already had another job. I went from full-time to part-time because I just basically hated being there. I just had an agenda to put them on blast. That's why I stayed longer than what I wanted to. The whole thing was to put them on blast.
And see, to be honest with you, these women is funny style, especially the feminist-minded ones, because they want equality with a man up until it comes to taking out the garbage. They don't believe in titles and job titles, but they see us as garbage men's, and that's it. Garbage men's, and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, mostly gentlemen. My fault, brother. If I'm gonna say this again because I always say this, if all the men left the planet, left the United States and went elsewhere, wherever, how long before all the ladies are Muslim? Don't think too hard, because you know what's gonna happen when people smell blood in the water. So how long before the women are Muslim? Because they pretend that they don't need us, even though we're the ones on the front line. We're the ones fighting the wars. We're the ones keeping America, America. But you don't need me, which is cool. How long before you turn Muslim? How long before the Middle East comes over here, invades, and takes over, and everybody's Muslim? All the women are Muslim now. How long?
If you didn't know, a hoe's final form is a religious woman.
That's not true. Hey, wait a minute.
As Uncle Jackie says, how long? How long? How long?
Treat them like shit. You can pay them less. You can give them fewer perks, less vacation time, and you can fire them for something that you wouldn't necessarily fire someone of a different gender or race or ethnicity or sexuality. This study looked specifically at one of those. You can reject their job application. This study did not show that women were just as likely as men to be hired in male-dominated industries, only that they were just as likely to be invited in for an interview when they submit their application, which is still something. You know, a seat at the table is one important step. And it is unconscionable if Swedish men aren't being offered the same opportunities in female-dominated industries. But does this study prove that that's happening? Well, it's a bit more complicated than you may think. Because 1/3 of this study's data came from a study on how convicted criminals fare in a job search. Not just men versus women, but men who were convicted of an assault and are currently doing community service because of that, versus women who were convicted of an assault and are currently doing community service because of it.
Now that's a damn good study right there that we don't really touch on. We don't really touch on that.
Right.
We already have a more complicated problem to deal with. People might be more likely to view a man convicted of assault as being more violent than a woman who is convicted of assault. And that prejudice may have basis in reality, considering that, at least here in the United States, about half of all assaults committed by men are simple assaults, which is the least serious charge, compared to 75% of all women.
Oh my God. Did you hear them facts right there, Uncle Jackie? I'm going to play that part back right there. Those some big old facts.
Yeah.
So they're more vicious than us. They say
Exactly.
that we the bears but they're way more violent than men, yo. That's 74%. That's large.
Oh yeah, that's 3/4.
God damn.
Convicted of an assault and are currently doing community service because of it. We already have a more complicated problem to deal with. People might be more likely to view a man convicted of assault as being more violent than a woman who is convicted of assault. And that prejudice may have basis in reality, considering that, at least here in the United States, about half of all assaults committed by men are simple assaults, which is the least serious charge, compared to 75% of all women who are convicted of assaults. Now, add to that the fact that the female-dominated industries these ex-convicts applied to included preschool teacher, and the male-dominated industries included truck driver. Gosh, I wonder which one would be more likely to discriminate against a man accused of assault. And to be clear, that study about ex-convicts in the hiring process, I think is quite good. The problem happens when they follow up with this new paper that strips the data of all context and then uses it to come to conclusions that aren't necessarily warranted. In the original study, they also looked at how gender affected the applicants, only instead of just saying men versus women, in male-dominated versus female-dominated industries, they also broke it down based on whether or not a job was high skill or low skill. While they did find that, and I quote, female ex-offenders face unequal treatment in the hiring process just as male ex-offenders do, they also found that discrimination against ex-offenders was most prominent in female-dominated and high-skilled occupations, supporting our conjectures that we derived based on the contact hypothesis. We argued that since criminals are more likely to be men and less educated, the probability of coming into contact with ex-offenders would be higher in a male-dominated population and among low-skilled groups. We therefore conjectured that employers in male-dominated and low-skilled occupations would be more familiar and have higher acceptance towards ex-offenders. In fact, our results showed that ex-offenders were not discriminated against in any of the male-dominated low-skilled occupations included in our study, i.e. auto mechanic and truck driver. Boom! Context. It doesn't make for a great headline, but it does help us understand a complicated problem a little bit better. So that was a full 1/3 of the data used in this new study. Another third came from a study that looked at victims of crime, which was also evaluated in the original study in view of gender and also had more context in that it also looked at high skill versus low skill jobs. They found that female victims were discriminated against in both female and male-dominated fields, regardless of skill level, while male victims were discriminated against more in specifically female-dominated high-skill positions.
I told you that. And that in pure English, that just means chicks is haters, boy. So women be hating on women and males. They be having a specific demographic that they want to hire. And this is where they hire the obese women. They'll hire an obese woman or somebody they think they are better than before they hire somebody with more skills to better the company. So they pick and they hire off feelings and like over skills.
Exactly. And that's what's happening at Sodexo Magic. They friends. How many of us have them? Friends.
Exactly, guys. And
That's
this why
called
they be
cronyism.
but this why they be off on the sideline crying because you cannot mix friends and business. You cannot mix family and business. You got to keep them separated. You got to. People don't
Because
treat your
eventually you're gonna
stuff
have
like
to,
it's their stuff.
eventually you're gonna have to ask your friend to do a dirty job, even though you normally don't ask them, and they're not gonna appreciate that. They're not gonna think about all the days they didn't have to do the dirty job. They're gonna think about that one time. Now y'all got a beef.
That's a fact. Yo, I'm gonna drop the link, bro. If any guys in the chat want to come up, remember we trying to get this monetized, so watch the language. But if y'all want to come up and share a scenario where y'all was discriminated on in the workplace, come on up, man. You know, we can learn from each other's situations, from each other's experience. So if you got a bad experience with discrimination in the workplace, come on, join the live, man.
Get it off your chest. I'm gonna keep it 100. Me being at that job, it really, really affected me. Period, because it made me not want to do anything. That's why I wasn't doing many shows. Like I just was sitting there, like trying to plan on how to get these folks back. So you like I just say my brain wasn't all the way right. Like I wasn't bugging, but I was focused on how to get these folks back, and it's an uphill battle because I'm by myself.
And I know
And
exactly what you're talking about, brother. I know,
yeah,
and that's what the jobs is designed to do. The jobs is designed to distract you from actually creating what God wants you to create. And one thing about you got the information, bro. You were creating something. You were creating that YouTube channel, and you saw it. You struck lightning in the bottle over there, boy. It went crazy when you was
right,
focused on it. And then the job, that stress too. Like we say that shit. Like if the job is 80-20 stress, then get rid of it. Cause every job gonna have some I don't like it, but it gotta be 20%.
right,
20% I don't like it. You know what I mean? And then the 80% gotta be love. I love it. It can't be like 20% I love it, and we know the 20% I love it is just the payday and the paycheck, and then 80% of the times I hate the shit. Can't be
yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? And that's why when you start creating and building your own stuff, you don't have that. You get out of that. You get out of that mindset right there. Yo, we got my guy, one mic in the class. One mic, what's going on, man?
What's good? What's good, everybody? Salute to the chat. Salute to the Good Bread channel. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure to be here. Don't mind the echo. I'm kind of like hiding away for a minute. Man, I know what that is all about, man. I had to actually get the EEOC involved at one point when they tried to do me dirty. I'm gonna tell you about it in a minute, but hold on. Hold on 1 second.
All right. So let me finish. She got about 2 more minutes on this. We're gonna let her finish out, let you get right, and then we're gonna come back and hear your story. I definitely want to hear that.
The last study, the last third of that data came from a study on transgender candidates in which they discarded the transgender candidates and kept the control group. That's literally the only data set that should really be considered here. They aren't ex-convicts, they aren't crime victims, they're just people who aren't volunteering uncomfortable things about themselves to potential employers in their introductory emails. Like, hey, I'd love to be your new preschool teacher. By the way, I did assault someone last year, but that is ancient history. Anyway, I had a 3.4 GPA. It's funny because all of these studies share an author. So I'm not trying to say that Ali Ahmed of Linköping University is a bad researcher. But I am suggesting that maybe this is one of those cases where publish or perish has a real negative impact on the quality of research that ends up making headlines, getting published and then going on to make headlines. By pressuring scientists to constantly publish new research or get fired, we encourage them to do things like this. Go back to your own data, shuffle it around, drop context, and see if you can come up with something statistically significant to support a new hypothesis in order to buy yourself another year or so of not getting hassled to publish. All of this is not to say that researchers shouldn't use existing data sets. That happens all of the time, but it needs to be done very carefully with hypotheses and statistical models that are pre-registered. So we know that the scientists aren't just using data they're very familiar with already to cherry pick it in order to suit a new purpose. And again, just to reiterate, I do not doubt that there's discrimination against men in female-dominated industries. But if we want to fix that, we need better studies to understand exactly why that's happening, the extent of the problem, so that we can.
Man, stop playing with me. You know why exactly that is happening, bro. Because if you put power in the wrong hand, people usually earn their death. Stop playing, yo. One mic, you ready now, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm ready, man. Thanks so much for that info. But I remember when I had a situation at my job that, I basically, I switched up my status. You know what I'm saying? I'm not is what they referred to on that paper. You know what I'm saying? I went back to the land and I traced my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Way, way, way back. So, you have to go ahead and get all of that formulated. So one day I was at work, and this was when they was enforcing that mask situation. And I said, hey, look, it's against my religious and spiritual beliefs to go ahead and to wear that mask because that's killing life, and I can't do that. So they said, hey, you know what? If you can't wear it according to this mandate, then we're gonna get rid of you. So I said, well, wait a minute. I said, you can't do that. So then at one point they said, you know what, we're gonna suspend them for not wearing it. I said, and besides, they don't even have any masks to wear. And as I last recall, it's in your documents, it's in your records. According to the EEOC, you cannot force somebody against their religious or spiritual beliefs. That's discrimination. So
Facts,
then
right?
they got quiet, and then what happened was they sent somebody else downstairs, not even the boss. They sent somebody else downstairs to look away and just hand me the paper. Now I'm real nasty when it comes down to this paperwork. I will have
Right.
you hung up on some shit, and I mean have you hung up on some stuff, and this is according to their own hand. You got to use their own rules against them. So I took it and I said, okay, so you're saying I'm suspended. So now you made me lose money, right? I had the union fight in it, and then I put the EEOC, and the EEOC said, hey, wait a minute, they did this? And I said, yeah, that's against their own religious and spiritual beliefs. They said, yeah, we'll take that. Here we go, 1951 punishment statutes clauses. They can't do that, and yeah, we're gonna give you a document that gives you the right to sue. So then after that, I gave the shit to the union, and the union gave it to the head boss, and the head boss is like, "Yo, make that shit disappear. We don't want that. We don't want it with with Michael. No, just don't do it. He's on that laptop all day, and that's the last thing you want to do. He knows what's up. Don't do it." They said no. What? So I'm like, so what happened? The union rep was like, "Hey man, look, don't even, just ignore that shit. They already know how you get down. That was the last thing they wanted to do." So I said, so how did they get to me? They said, well, the company was under new management, and she doesn't know your history and how you move. And then I said, and on that top of that note, you used the name of which I go by in business, and I didn't really appreciate that. So now you wrote my name on the paper without my permission. So you get to take this trademark, warning too. And I gave her that. She said, the hell with this shit. I'm out of here. She quit because they know, according to that, look it up. It's a discrimination act of the EEOC. Whenever somebody discriminates against you, whether it's against race, sexual origin, religion, all of that other stuff, it's a nasty, it's just black and white. It's either you did or you didn't. And more than
Right.
likely, when they do stuff against you like that, where they'll try to discriminate against you, not just bullying too, because bullying happen to take place in the workplace too. A lot of times, a lot of people don't know you could get them hung up for that too. That's another form of
Mhm.
discrimination.
Yeah, that's
And
hostile
that's,
work environment. When they create a
yeah,
hostile work environment, yep.
exactly. You ever wonder why people be running up in there, pulling Rambos or going postal or whatever? No offense to the post office workers, we love y'all, but sometimes, like you said before, that stress level, when they get up there to that 80-20 or that 90, that's when you see people snap, crackle, and pop
You ain't
other
never
people's
Yo,
lie.
buildings.
yo,
Boss.
y'all remember that commercial where dude was like, I am as mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore. That's how it is.
Exactly.
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 Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Fellas, we got one more important video that I want to play. I want to react to. And salute to my guy. I haven't spoke to him in a while, but real homies and real compadres. We don't need to be blowing smoke in each other's ass every single day. But he know that he's my guy. You know what I mean? And he coined one of the truest statements I've ever heard in my life. And I put my ear to the street. I put my ear, I'm a good listener, so I've heard a lot. But when Dirty Folks, and y'all go subscribe to my guy, Dirty Folks Podcast, Dirty Folks Network, just type him in y'all search engine and go subscribe to him. When he said what he said about black is for women gays, and felons. That's the truest stuff I ever heard, bro. Democrats is also for that. So the moral of the story, guys, is you got to create something for yourself. You got to get to some new information and create something. Knowledge is power. You got to get powerful, boy. You got to. Because if you one of these individuals running around here looking for something, they ain't giving nothing out to you. Especially if you're a black man. They only giving to women, gays, and felons. Do you hear that? Do you understand that? All these programs is designed for either end of the spectrum. It's not designed for the dude that have balance. It's not. This is why ain't nobody coming. Nobody coming to rescue you. Nobody. And ain't nobody to blame for the shipwreck your mama and your daddy put you in. That's them. They put you in your circumstance. Now, what you gonna do about it? You can't blame nobody, boy. You got to get to some information. Cause being black is not it's not a ticket to getting somebody gotta give you something because you're black. Nobody gotta give you shit. All right? Understand that. Nobody gotta give you anything, yo. Y'all know how I feel about people that think they deserve stuff.
You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve buddy.
All right, y'all. So get it. Get it. Get it. Start opening streams of income. That's all it is. Stop stop spending your money to compete. Stop spending your money to look like you winning and spend and use your money to invest so that you can really be winning. Open up streams of income. Stop being scared. If you want to do a YouTube, stop talking about I'm gonna do a YouTube channel and do the YouTube channel already. Done is better than perfect. You got to take in new information, bro, because the information that you're sitting on, if you ain't winning, why are you continue to repeat the same shit off this information? You got to get rid of the information, guys. All right? Yeah, y'all know how we do. If you got to stop the video at any point, just give me the signal, guys, and we'll stop the video. But y'all, make sure y'all get on over there, yo. Fair use, fair use. This is my guy, Dirty Folks. He gonna break it down, even to the molecule.
There is no community. No black community ever. Because you got to decide if you're gonna be a man or be black. There is no black community with heterosexual men in it. Not a productive one, not one where your kids feel safe to walk outside and play in the streets and walk to the store unsupervised and all that. There is no predominantly black community in America that feels safe with heterosexual men in it. That's just facts. Are there heterosexual men in the community? You don't feel safe because they just as emotionally violent. They heterosexual because they like pussy, and pussy is delicious, but they just heterosexual, sexual. But they have the emotional disposition of women. They violent, they argumentative, they dumb as shit, they snap off on shit, they disrespectful, they scary. These type of motherfuckers that'll fight another dude, but goddamn it, the skinniest white boy could walk through their hood and hey man, put down the blunt, put down the blunt.
Exactly, guys. And these are the sons that the women are raising. These are the hell of a sons he talking about. These are the guys that those programs you sitting around here being a ready, willing adult man waiting for, those programs is for them. Them dudes is retarded. Them dudes took the rat poison. Remember, they mama ran out there, ate the rat poison, and took it right back into the crib. So now they all sick. All of them sick in that crib, boy. Don't be them. Don't be them.
Cowardly ass man, that's not manhood. Being afraid of shit, other men, that ain't manhood. Not taking charge of shit, that's not manhood. Listening to a girl with clothes on, nigga, ain't nothing manly about that. By the time you're 12 years old, you're supposed to stop listening to your motherfucking mother. Your mother shouldn't be able to tell you shit. You're 12 years old, 12 and up. I mean, love your mother, respect your mother. She can actually do shit for her regardless of what. Making decisions after you 12, that's supposed to be a wrap. I think they said for Club City, why it's black only for women, gays, and felons. Who benefits? You know a culture by who benefits socioeconomically. That's how you know a culture. If I say landscaping, landscaping and contracting, farming, people will say Mexicans because that's how they make their daily bread. And they benefit from that to the point that all these motherfuckers got food carts. Ain't none of them got no goddamn city permits, but nobody fuck with them. They just let them get their money. Like, I know these motherfuckers are illegals, but let them sell their little bananas and tacos. If I say liquor store, people will say Arab. If I say laundromat, people will say Asian. When you think minstrel arts, you think black, right? Minstrel arts, you think black. When you think of an unsuccessful criminal, you think black. Unsuccessful criminal, low-level unsuccessful criminal, you think black. When you think of successful criminals, niggas who do it for power, not just money, but they do it for power and prestige, y'all think Italian. Say I'm lying. That's why everybody got Gotti or some shit after they rap name. They think the Italians are better gangbangers than niggas. Niggas invented gangbanging, nigga. We the gangbang kings, and motherfuckers will revere another ethnicity's gangs more. Minstrels are gay people. Just think about all the people that go to drama class in high school. Think about the guys that do ballet and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They normally questionable in sexuality. So if your whole identity of your group is the least likely thing to do, by the way, is which is to be a successful minstrel, whether it's an athlete or a musician or whatever, and that's what you're known for. Like, yo, this our way out the ghetto, and it's not, because you're looking at 1/100th of 1% of people who make it in those industries. I mean, how many goddamn SoundCloud rappers don't make it? How many niggas in AAU don't make it? So y'all take the least likely path to success and say, yo, that's what black people gonna do. We gonna take the hard road, nigga. And then it's the gayest road. Athletes, not so much. But like actors and musicians, gay as shit. How many times you gotta listen to a comedian say they didn't want to go in that back room? How many comedians do you have to see wear a dress to get in that back room? The minstrel class is gay because minstrels are gay. That's where they find a reward. Women get their reward economically, socially, all type of shit. It works for women. It works for gays. It works for felons because felons get the women, right, of that community. They only fuck niggas with a parole officer. And economically, I've seen a lot of guys who could not get a job, went to jail, came back. Now they eligible for that job because of affirmative action. That's the dark side of affirmative action nobody talks about. The fact that if you don't have a criminal record, you're actually worse off than your cousin with a criminal record if you're applying for the same low-skilled job. There's no benefit of being a heterosexual, tawny or swarthy man. There is no tax exemption. There is nobody looks at you and say, oh my God, you're going to lead us. In fact, they call you white. They call you the white people or black people. They say you acting white, you talking white, you want to be white.
And that's a fact. The minute you don't show this level of ignorance, all of a sudden you acting right, or you a coon, or you this, or you that. The minute you ain't acting a fool like them, like, yo, what? Oh, yo, then they say shit like, your mother black. Your mother
Or,
black.
or or get this one, toxic masculinity, just because you're proving a point and you're telling the truth and you're exposing the truth. They'll say you got toxic masculinity. I've heard that too.
You're sassy. You're narcissist.
Misogynist.
That's it.
Who hurt you?
That.
If
Oh
they're not
yeah.
calling you white, they calling you gay. There is no benefit of being able to read past the 6th grade level like women and not have a parole officer as a tawny man. So if anybody that benefit from being black, it's only women, gays, and felons. So let them have that shit. We'll be something else. Totally rebrand.
Also, if they happen to do something like in the workplace, if they happen to call you, you know what I'm saying, the G word or anything like that of any kind, I've almost seen a person get fired from that because they said that that's causing, like you fellas said, a hostile working environment. Somebody got called the G word, and when he recorded it and brought it to the boss, and the boss said, "Did you just call him that?" And the person was just like, "No, I was just saying as a joke." He said, "No, you can't joke around like that because." Oh, hold on. Yeah, but like I said before, you can't say that because in there they got some strict guidelines, that stuff that protects them people like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people gotta be real careful what you say and how you say it in the workplace. Real
Definitely.
rep.
Definitely, y'all. So, guys, I ain't gonna hold y'all much longer. I know it's y'all Sunday, so y'all should have started y'all week today, and now y'all gonna get in some rest, get some rest in. So, I'm gonna just go on and wrap it up by saying, guys, you got to speak up, but you got to educate yourself. Cause if you don't educate yourself, then you're gonna speak up and you're gonna fly off the handle. And I don't want you to speak up from an angle of intimidation. And then you have the people have a case and a suit on you because they'll switch it. They will flip it on you. And understand, for those of you guys on company policy, HR is not your friend.
Nope.
HR is not your friend. Watch what you tell HR. You know what I mean? Record everything. Jot down stuff. Jot these things down. You should have a diary or you should have a log. If any of my guys or sisters is enduring or under workplace harassment and you just hate going to work because there's always some stuff that got to do with not work, then you
Right.
probably is under workplace harassment. That's the very definition of a hostile work environment. And HR, they don't like words like that. They don't like terms like that because that's big money. That's $80,000 right there. You know what I mean? Type shit. So understand HR not your friend, but take notes of everything. And what else I want to say? Because I'm gonna wrap this thing on up. But Uncle Jackie, you got anything you want to add before we
Yeah,
wrap this thing on up?
I appreciate you for talking about this on your forum. Most definitely. Fellas, stop being scared. Like, just Trump is in office, man. It's different times, and I've been running that. Like, Trump is in office. It's man time now. You got 4 years of being a man coming
Yes.
up.
Use it. Use it
Use
all
it.
4 years. Yep.
But I'm
Use
good. I
all four
appreciate
years,
everybody
bro.
for putting too.
Word. Yeah, good point. Good point, Uncle Jackie. Use all 4 years. Now, you got anything you want to add before we go in and close? Uncle Jackie, where they can find you at, bro?
You can find me at Tony Jack Sports and Entertainment at Harlem's HNIC. I've been, like I said, man, I've been like chilling because I was going through all this with this job and all that. But yeah, I'm about to be back on it. Lucas
And
with the Lakers.
I was about to say, I was just about to ask you that, man. I was just about to ask you. I was about to, man, listen, how you feel about that one, man? That's crazy.
It didn't help the Lakers. It helped the Mavericks. At least this year, it helps the Mavericks.
Okay. Okay. That's
Because now
interesting.
you got Kyrie running the point, kinda. You got Klay Thompson as your gunner, and you got your big man, skilled big man in AD, and then you got Gafford, who's good on defense, and he's a garbage man. So they got better to me. They got better.
Okay. Okay. But I know LeBron definitely gets some help with Luca now. He gets some offensive help.
Yeah, but they have no defense anymore.
Oh
Like
man.
AD is like a 200 blocks a year kind of dude.
Oh man.
And they just traded that for a dude that scores and doesn't really play defense.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Dallas got the better deal. As long as AD doesn't get hurt, Dallas should make some noise in the playoffs.
Man, yo, guys, if y'all like great NBA insight like that, that was a little sample right there. You know, we don't really touch on it like that over here, but if y'all like great insight, NBA, NFL, NHL, boxing, y'all like great insight like that, y'all need to get on over there to my guy, Uncle Jackie, all right? One
Appreciate
mic,
it.
no doubt, bro. One mic, man. You got anything you want to add before we going to close this thing on up?
Man, I would just like to say, man, it's always a pleasure to be here, man. There's no best learner other than experience. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men need to grow up. A lot of men need to see the forest from the trees. You know what I mean? And actually take note. Is it benefiting me being a man and standing on business? Or is it a benefit to somebody else to just lay low and stay underneath the grass? Nah, man, you got to stick up for yourself. Because if you don't stick up for yourself, ain't nobody coming to help you out. You got to stand on business. There's a time when to be quiet and there's a time to speak up. Now that we got these years in our favor, it's time for us to speak up. It's time for us to start investing in ourselves. It's time for us to start making businesses because it's only temporary. Do you want to settle and have nothing known to your name, knowing that you've accomplished nothing but help somebody else build another company, or would you rather have something that you're supposed to leave to your future generation? You don't want each generation to go by and say, damn, my father ain't leave me nothing, or damn, he wasn't known for anything good. Be known for something good. If you don't have much, find a trade, find something and pass it on, because knowledge is power. Thank you.
No doubt, y'all. We wrap up, strap up, drink responsibly. Do not play with your life. Don't forget to become a member of the channel, guys. You can become a member and you have access to our $2.99 a month private membership only live stream course, guys. We got a live stream course going on every Sunday. We had one earlier today at 2 p.m. It was a barn burner. It was a banger. We got that information that we ain't always have access to. I mean, now we got access to it. You know what I mean? We got access to it now. So make sure you become a member. Don't be scared to invest in yourself. Put your money where your mouth is, guys. All right, y'all. We see y'all later. Thank y'all
Peace.
for coming out, y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You.